Could drinking along the sidewalks be here to stay? That's what Wilmington City Council will be talking about tonight. WECT's Randy Crooms has details on plans to possibly make a permanent social district.
For some businesses in the area, the news of a permanent social district sounds like a good deal. Some city leaders called it a success, and now they're going to be talking about the steps to move it forward, which has some people saying cheers.
In February, Wilmington tested out its first ever open container pilot program, where people were allowed to carry drinks outside on parts of North 4th Street. Now, a few months later, city officials are meeting to decide if the social district should be permanent. Here's what's planned for tonight's meeting. The resolution on the agenda would allow the city manager to set standards on the social district and how future applications will work. If the resolution gets approved, a public hearing will take place on August 19th. The resolution would also start a social districts committee, which would be a mix of people from the police and fire chiefs, city officials, and business owners. During the pilot, some businesses say they saw a record high in sales, and they're hoping the social district is here to stay.
Wilmington City Council will be meeting tonight at 6:30. We'll be sure to keep you updated on what happens. In Wilmington, Randy Crooms, WECT.